What is going on, everybody? My name is Conor Lorraine. Welcome back to another week of Movie Mondays. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and just generally having a bit of a chit-chat about everything to do with film. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Shaun Meehan. Shaun, how's it going?
I'm good, Conor. Happy Halloween.
Oh, it's a spooky episode of Movie Mondays.
It is indeed, because it's a week where we're actually busy and we have things to talk about. There's a lot of news this week, Conor.
And the spookiest thing was seeing all the news that we missed last week.
Each headline was like a new jump scare in a Five Nights at Freddy's game.
Every time I read on Twitter, I thought, why did we skip last week?
Why on earth did we take a week off?
If anyone doesn't know, I got engaged last week, so it was a bit of an iffy week. So in terms of, movie news, it was a bit low on my list of things.
It wasn't
to
your
check
main
out.
focus for the week,
at that moment. So I've kind of been outside the bubble, and then putting the show together today, I said, right, let's go all back in and let's see what we got. And I have assembled, I think, maybe one of the strongest lineups of news we've had in quite a while. One of the news stories we're going to get to straight away. It involves a trailer because it dropped literally, I think, a day after we released the previous episode's Movie Mondays, of course.
Yeah. As we all know, Kevin Feige listens and he presses upload on YouTube the second we stop recording.
I don't want to come out strong, but I think he's a bastard.
Wow, that is coming out pretty strong, actually.
I thought that was mild. I thought that was mild.
No, we got to talk about this.
So before we get started, if you could give us a like and review, whatever podcast platform that you're listening to this on, it would really help us out. We are currently striving for 100 ratings of 5 stars on Spotify by Christmas. That is still
if not
the goal.
More.
Well, I will accept more. We're not just stopping at 100, but I'll take 100 as that's the goal.
At 100, we delete the podcast.
I'm quitting. We get to 100, I will stop. That's actually a reason to like it.
That's a threat. That's a valuable threat you can use.
Everyone's like, quick, to Spotify. So, Shaun, we're going to start off this week with the news of a trailer. And not just any trailer, but the first trailer of the MCU's Phase 5. That is Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, that dropped last week.
Yes, the reintroduction, I suppose, the next time we see Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror, or Kang in general.
Yeah, he's not a conqueror in this, as far as I can tell.
No, he's not. But this trailer is very, it almost feels like a short film in a lot of ways, because it's like, it's Paul Rudd, Ant-Man, and he's a celebrity, he's rocking it as an Avenger. He's got his own little team going, and then he gets pulled into the quantum realm and he has to fight Kang. What's the goal here, do you think?
Does he fight Kang, or is Kang on his side?
I don't know, is it in the trailer or is it just some shot that got leaked, but there is a shot of Paul Rudd with the absolute shit beaten out of him.
Okay.
He is a bloody mess.
Now, do we know Kang did that, or maybe Kang was trying to save him?
Maybe I feel
like I'm being gaslit, but I think Kang is a nice guy.
Wow. Okay. So the quantum realm and this world, because it is a whole other world just on a microscopic scale, that they're going about. It's quite similar to something in the comics called the Microverse, where Ant-Man shrinks way, way, way down, and there's a whole other universe down there. But in this, Kang seems to be like the leader or the lord of the quantum realm in this. And we see like a time chair kind of a thing, which he uses to travel through time. But he needs Ant-Man's help in order to use it, I believe.
I suppose, yes. Maybe some sort of technology or something.
Yeah, because all of his so you have Hank Pym, you have Janet Van Dyne, you have Hope, and you have Cassie Lang. They're all the new Ant-Man team, and they have like this beacon that alerts them to threats in the quantum realm. And Michelle Pfeiffer says, "Oh, Don't turn that on. That's
she
the
looks
worst
at her
idea.
And she says, "You stupid fucking idiot! What the fuck are you doing, you prick?"
You just built a signal to the quantum realm.
And then she starts beating the head off her. It's really weird. But look,
Really
it really got across that she wasn't very happy with her, which I'm okay with, no subtlety.
Well, it seems like Janet Van Dyne encountered Kang in, I'm going to call it the microverse, in the microverse at one point.
Because she was stuck there.
She was stuck there for years, like decades. But she hasn't told anyone about Kang, which feels like like if there was something that she was so terrified of, maybe bring it up once you get back to the real world. I
think like we should never go back there. It seems like a bad idea. Also, really enjoyed the fact that Ant-Man is now the first person to face off against Kang in the MCU.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be the first to face the big bad of the next phase.
That's quite cool. And it does set the stakes as well, because if Kang were to go up against like a Captain Marvel or something, it's like there's a whole wealth of powers there that would make, even the playing field a bit, but Ant-Man can just change size. That's the thing.
What I will say is that I don't know if it's just me, and I realise obviously the movie has not been released, not till next February, so it's a whole CGI thing, they're still working on it. I don't know if I'm into these movies where they go to a different world and it's all on a big screen anymore, and I don't know what way to put that in better terms.
No, I get what you mean though. Like, I think the best part of like Ant-Man, the first Ant-Man, is, that sequence where he shrinks down in the bath and then he's running along a record, and it's all this weird out of scale stuff. Whereas when you put them, they're very, very small, but they're in a world that's also very, very small and weird. It doesn't look like anything. It just looks like they're in space. Yeah,
and I feel like I don't even know if it's a me problem or like I don't even think it's a problem between the people who do the CGI or create these worlds. Personally, for me, all I can say is that maybe I don't get the same enjoyment of just like vast screen of like where's the stakes or the scale, because I'm just like, Ant-Man is standing in front of a boulder that is, and the sky is green. Oh wow! Yeah. Oh no!
Yeah, like, I don't think it has the same effect. It doesn't have the same wow factor. But I assume the way that they'll do it in this one, in that because it's a micro world and everything's small, is that then you have him be Giant Man, which then throws the scale in the other direction.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I do like the inclusion of Cassie, like the daughter, within the movie, as like she's now part of the team. Because obviously she's grown up now. 5 years have passed. You can kind of throw her in, and maybe it's a case of like her growing into the role and taking over potentially. Like there's a Young Avengers there that they're trying to set up.
Absolutely, and so they have all the pieces in place now for Young Avengers, so I would be very surprised if we didn't see that.
Also, we see soon. Bill Murray, he's here, just moping about the place.
Rocking around. I don't think I like Bill Murray.
Strong opinions coming out the gate.
That whole thing that he has going where he's a weird prick most of the time just doesn't do it for me anymore.
You're not into it.
No, I don't like how he'll just he'll just jump behind the bar and pull point. No, just fucking just play along, all right? Just be a regular human. You're not special.
For God's sake, Bill, come on.
I don't get it. I don't get the Bill Murray worship that goes on.
So are we starting a Bill Murray feud maybe between yourself and himself? I mean, he probably won't care, Shaun, but we can try.
I'll take a Bill Murray feud. Why not?
You could take Bill Murray. I think you could take him.
In a fight, I think I could.
Yeah.
I wouldn't fight anyone, Connor.
If you had to, like he stole your children or he killed your parents or something.
Jesus. Wow. Okay. First, big shock to know my children are stolen, being that I didn't know I had them.
Well, you don't know anymore. They're gone.
Oh, good. Well, look, I can't miss what you never had, Connor.
You're like shaking Bill's hand. Thanks very much. Rather save me a load of hassle, actually, lad.
Thanks for not killing my parents, though. That was nice, yeah.
You're a top quality guy. So this comes out 17th of February 2023, which is pretty soon. Like, it's only 4 months away, basically, at this stage. We have Black Panther to get through still. Are you excited for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania after seeing this trailer?
I actually am. Like, I like the Ant-Man movies. I like Ant-Man, I like Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, even better. I think the Ant-Man movies used to be kind of like they're I don't know, what's like a breath of fresh air, it's like a moment to breathe.
A palate
like after
cleanser.
A palate cleanser. That's it. So like after the big event movie, you have a little Ant-Man story going on. But this one seems much more serious, and that it's starting off the next phase is pretty huge. And
also, Ant-Man should get the shit kicked out of him in this.
Oh, yeah. Also, I want to see MODOK in this. I want Darren Cross from the first movie, who was Yellow Jacket. I want him to have shrunk down so small that his face got all fucked up and he got a big head and a special chair that he rides around in.
That's all you want. That's all
I've ever wanted. That's all. Look,
you've told me that. You've told me that for years, that was your one dream.
I told you this before the MC. I told you this before we were friends. Yeah.
It's your tattoo.
It is.
I specifically want Yellow Jacket from the first Ant-Man movie to
come back as MODOK,
have a weird head and be MODOK. Some said the tattoo was never going to age well. You said no. I'm going to keep doing it. Just keep getting it touched up.
Well, we'll see. Come February 17th, we'll find out if that tattoo
we'll see who's laughing then. So, yeah, the trailer came out. Shaun, I would say this has given me the same level of excitement in that it's okay. I'll see it.
And I'll say this again. I don't want any more trailers.
Yeah.
Of this movie. Just let it come out. Put this trailer on again in 3 months, and that's fine.
I still think I'm on a hangover from Thor, that I'm still like, you're
still burned.
I'm still burned. I've just, Taika, I love Ragnarok, man, so much.
There was never a bigger fumble of the bag in cinematic history.
So we're moving on to our next piece of news, and this one's a big one, Shaun. This one is pretty big. Also, I should say straight out, lots of superhero news this week.
It's the week for it.
It's a pretty big week. I don't know why, but they do nothing for the summer, and then they release all the news at once. And that is, of course, Henry Cavill. Shaun, I don't want to blow our own trumpet, right? But we've been right once every 4 years. We said he was coming back in Black Adam many months ago. And Shaun, I think we can all agree that Henry Cavill has, not only did he confirm it himself, he is officially back as Superman.
Yes.
It has been confirmed he's coming back.
I mean, look, great. Love Henry Cavill as Superman. There is a trade-off in that he's no longer the Witcher.
I seen that he left the Witcher. And they replaced him with a Hemsworth.
Liam Hemsworth is now going to be the new...
fine, I suppose.
Yeah. It's not really. There's not really a whole lot of news about why he left. There's things coming out being the writers didn't care about it, but Henry it's a real passion project.
There's loads of talk where he just spent the first 3 seasons being like, we should do this like the books, and they were like, Henry, shut up, your stupid beautiful face. Nerd. Go get in the fucking tub.
Can I just say as well, before we'll get into the Superman stuff, but in the announcement video that Henry made, announcing that he was back as Henry.
Yeah.
I love Henry so much. But in the announcement video that Henry made, when he was saying, I'm back as Superman, he was wearing a t-shirt from Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah, now, and that's the way to your heart.
Absolutely it is. Also, my wallet. I am broke. But there is a character in Warhammer 40,000 called the Emperor of Mankind. And he leads this whole crusade. And I think, and a lot of nerds on Reddit would agree with me, that you cast Henry Cavill as the God Emperor of Mankind, give him a big flaming sword, and send him to fight aliens, and you print money with that movie. I'm just saying that should happen. Anyway, Superman's pretty cool.
Also, but we also said Witcher, stick a sword in his hand, let him be Geralt, print money as well. And so now he's left. But he is back as Superman, which you can also print money with him. So what can you do?
And like, given, and I'm assuming we're talking about this later, but like, given the direction DC seems to be taking, we could get a very good quality Henry Cavill Superman movie.
He even said that he's going to bring the joyful Superman back, because anyone who doesn't know, Superman's been a real sad boy for the last decade. He's
and
just
you've explained to me
boy.
that he's meant to be the symbol of hope. Like you said to me, Batman at the end of the Batman is more hopeful than Superman
it doesn't make
has ever
any
been
sense.
in cinema.
Like, how is that possible, right? Batman's whole thing is he's also meant to have hope, but Superman, that's his thing. Like, we've said this so many times on the show, and I feel like we're repeating ourselves because there's so much Superman news. He was in, he was out, he was in, then he was out, and now he's back. Over the last few years, is just, if Captain America can print money for the MCU, why the fuck can Superman not print money for DC? Because I mean, they're the same boring character. They'll never sell tickets, people find them boring. But if Captain America works, just have Superman work. It's the same kind of concept. You have the do-gooder who just wants to be good, and everyone else is like being a dickhead around them.
Yeah, and you can do the finding my place and wondering where I belong kind of thing, but like he should never be as depressed and serious as he was in Man of Steel or Batman v Superman or any of this.
No, and like, yeah, I just said, like, I do understand you can have a slightly sad Superman. He can be sad when bad things happen, but he's also there as I mean, it's in the comic books, a symbol of hope. What's the S stand for? Stands for hope. I mean, he's there. He's just there to be like, we can be better. Why can we not be better, guys? Like,
yeah, he's something to aspire to. Like, it's like, you can all be Superman. Like, I'm excited. I think, like, because Henry Cavill is a funny dude as well, and he's very charming and pleasant and nice. So put all of that into Clarke Kent, which I can't believe that they didn't do that.
Well, the problem was that he was sad. And that is an issue.
He had to be sad because his dad was sucked up by that tornado.
His dad was taken by a tornado for some reason. You're Superman.
You could have stopped that in a heartbeat. No one would have seen you. You can move faster.
You could have done it in about a split second. Like, you could have saved him and then brought him to fucking, I don't know, Alaska. And you could have done it in maybe 7 seconds. Nobody would have been none the wiser.
He would have been grand. And even if people saw you, people would just write it off as like, oh, he was really fast. Because dumb. So dumb.
Do you want to see a Man of Steel sequel, or do you want to see Henry Cavill Superman, but he's kind of not part of that world, but he is? It's all still very confusing.
Yeah, I think they need, their one get out of jail free card, which was Flashpoint, is now fucked. Like, that can't work as it was.
Did you see Ezra Miller's facing 26 years in prison?
Yeah, we'll see what happens there.
That might push the sequel back a few years.
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe slightly. Yeah.
Although, the idea of the Flash being stuck in prison, quite an app, not to make light of the situation at all. Oh no, Barry Allen's father.
Absolutely a horrible human. But I mean, yeah, I think they're trying to replay or recast the Flash as well. So I'm interested to see what happens. Like, you have, I don't know, I think they're going to be dumb. This might surprise you, but I think they're going to be dumb and they're going to break the Batman glass in case of emergency, in terms of they're putting Henry Cavill Superman in the Batman universe, because they have a thing that works and it's good.
I don't know if Superman would work in that Robert Pattinson Batman universe.
I think he'd work even better, because if he was like the opposite.
But can a man fly in that world, do you think?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Do aliens exist in the Batman?
See, once you bring in Superman, you got to bring in everyone. I mean, they are mostly working towards Black Adam versus Superman. That's That's the end
That's
goal.
what The Rock wants to happen, yeah.
Which, to be honest, kind of fucks Shazam over, really, because then what's his job?
Yeah, like he's just... Because Shazam is, like, basically Superman. Like, he's a Superman pastiche, is where he came from. And so you now just have two of these characters, and one of them is a child, basically, and the other one, up until now, has been really miserable, but is now going to be really, really cheerful, I guess.
I think he might be the happiest. I think they're going to have him so happy it's sickening. Like, he's just... everything just cheers him up.
Have you seen the Black Adam end credits scene that they basically released the same day?
I have not.
Right, okay, I won't go into that point.
Okay.
Because there's something weird... Yeah, it's fine. We won't go into
on.
it. No. I know, because if you haven't seen it, and probably other people haven't seen it, I don't want to be the one to spoil things. But I wonder where the universe goes next, because at the minute it's all just disjointed, and we need more things confirmed and locked down. What is the Batman situation?
It's still just... is Affleck back? You can't bring Affleck back. He doesn't want to come back.
Apparently Affleck came back in The Flash for a bit, but maybe that's cut now.
But they got rid of that movie's like... That movie's so weird at this point. Then they also got rid of Batgirl.
Yeah.
Also, the Zatanna movie has been cancelled, just to let you know.
Jesus Christ. What is DC doing?
Look, at this point, they're like in that really weird middle ground of like, they now have a good manager, but what do? We have all of the players from the last manager.
Yeah.
And they're all not very good.
They're going to need to moneyball this situation, Conor.
They are. They're going to have to clear everything out and start again, but they don't want to admit it. So we're moving on to our next piece of news, Shaun, and this is pretty big in terms of rumours or reports go. Because I have rumours, speculation, hearsay, absolute bullshit. Not the last one, probably the other three though. Sacha Baron Cohen has reportedly been cast as the MCU's newest supervillain. Shaun, do you know the supervillain that he is being rumoured to play?
No, I don't.
Interesting, because there's a certain character that we all thought was going to show up in WandaVision. Now, that character was a character that we all were locked in. He's definitely showing up in WandaVision. Like, it's
basically confirmed.
It's basically confirmed without being confirmed. But unfortunately, we all had our hearts broke. The character did not show up, and for some reason, we held that against the show, even though we had come up with our own. We had come up with that ourselves. They never told us. But the character I am, of course, talking about is Marvel's devil himself, Mephisto.
I mean, I never would have cast Sacha Baron Cohen in that role. My gut reaction is no. But thinking about it, like, Sacha Baron Cohen is a good actor and will commit to the bit. But do you want a devil who... Because Mephisto's usually like, he's a jokey, sarcastic prick, but he's usually serious overall. Whereas I feel you could turn him into like, you know, like the robot devil from Futurama, which I think is the wrong way to go with the character. So
Cohen's name, why this all came up, according to reports, is that his name has been dropped on the set of Ironheart, a forthcoming, obviously, Disney Plus series. Production will also soon move to Chicago. But more interestingly, the actor has also been spotted at the Marvel facilities, located outside of London. So people are putting two and two together, and they're thinking, well, who is Sacha Baron Cohen possibly playing? And Mephisto is the one that they've kind of put their hat on, that perhaps he is playing Mephisto. Maybe this is all us doing it all over again, but he may be coming eventually.
Maybe, yeah. Like, I don't know what Mephisto would add at this point.
Yeah, what's the point now?
If you were going to do Mephisto, you would have done him in Spider-Man No Way Home, where it's basically the comic run Brand New Day, where Spider-Man makes a deal with Mephisto and everyone hated it because it ruined so many years of comics.
Yeah.
But you do it in the movie, and it basically just replaces a lot of Doctor Strange in No Way Home. like
alternatively, you do it in WandaVision as just he has set up that world. You don't have to do he doesn't have to be involved in any other aspect other than an after credit scene where he's at the very, 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 very end, and it shows him that he's the one who created that universe.
Yeah, like, and he's just like looking into a crystal ball or something, or smiling. I would like Mephisto to be more, I don't know, sinister, I suppose, rather than jokey. Now, there's nothing to say Sacha Baron Cohen can't do serious roles, but he's mostly known for Borat.
But Mephisto is known that he always gets involved with Doctor Doom. He can sometimes be in the ear of Doctor Doom when, he's doing Doom things.
That is true. They also duel once a year for Doctor Doom's mother's soul.
Yes.
So that's another thing that happens.
So, I mean, we do know Doom is coming in. Mephisto would be pretty good. I think what the issue is, they've ran through Thanos and all the other villains they have. Like, they have a whole bunch of A-list villains, like, in the vault. And I think now they're like, right, phase 5, 6, we got Kang. Now we're going to bring in Doctor Doom, bring in Mephisto as a triple threat.
Maybe, but I don't know what Mephisto would add going for. I think it's already quite cluttered. Like, there's a lot of threads hanging there. And a lot of, like, where do we go next? So I think rather than just throwing cool villains and confirming Mephisto for the sake of a meme, you lock in on, we're going to do Doctor Doom and Kang really well, and there's going to be these other minor villains in all of the other projects.
The only way I would see it working is if he's actually a minor character, that he's just a shithouse. That if you're bringing in Ghost Rider, he's just in that.
That would be a sensible way for Mephisto to show up. Just have him be in Ghost Rider, give him the powers, and then fuck off for the rest of the film.
Yeah, like, he doesn't need to be anything bigger than that. I think we built him up so much with WandaVision that we kind of ruined him for ourselves. That unless he's like Thanos level, then there's nothing that could possibly live up to that. So I think you go the opposite end. He's just like, right, he's just in it, gives Ghost Rider the powers, we do Midnight Suns, let's move on with our lives.
Yeah, and that might be the way to do it. Because, I think setting him up as a big bad might not be the way to go, but have him just be, even like he's just kind of there, like he's a constant, he's a force in nature. He doesn't really care about, I'm going to conquer the world. That's not his jam. He doesn't want that. No, he just wants chaos. Like,
I mean, they could possibly, like, Kang starts taking over, and I mean, you could have a moment in one of the movies where someone goes to Mephisto and is like, I'm going to make a deal to try and save the Earth. And he just fucks them over. Because, I mean, I don't know if you know, but Mephisto will normally fuck people over when they make a deal with him.
Yeah, it's a terrible deal with the devil kind of thing. Like, he'll cure your father of cancer, but he'll die while trying to jump 17 school buses later
Why
on.
Did he jump those school buses?
Right after he recovered from cancer.
My cancer's fine. Through the flaming ball of fire.
So, I don't hate the casting, the rumoured casting, I suppose. But I just think I would like Mephisto. Maybe I'm burned by Thor again, but like, I don't want anything too funny. I don't want anything too quippy and jokey. I don't want Mephisto to be just this weird dude who makes weird references and has a silly voice. I would like him to be I would like Bryan Cranston to play Mephisto.
Oh, that is a very good piece of casting. I mean, just like an air of just an edge. Just like, this could break at any given second here.
Yeah, and he could be like the kindly, friendly dude who gets you in, and then he switches, and then he's fucking Heisenberg, and he's just this like sinister, menacing, terrifying
I would
person.
love that. I just want that one moment where like he just turns and someone's like, "Do you see this? Like, you're not serious, are you?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm deadly serious. Like I gave you your wish. You owe this to me. I want you to kill them. Like that's what I want. That was the deal."
So I just think that is the route I would go down with that character. But look, the casting for these movies usually does pretty well. So I'll wait and see if this outlandish rumour is confirmed.
I mean, it's outlandish, but also slightly reported, so now I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
So we're moving on to our next piece of news, and it's a small trailer, Shaun, that we got this week. It's the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special trailer.
A little romp at Christmas time with the Guardians.
A little romp.
It's going to be a special presentation.
So it's going to be very similar to Werewolf by Night.
Yes, which is up on Patreon now if people want to
we did a review
on
our Patreon of Marvel's little special presentation that they did just in time for Halloween. It's a bit of a spooky movie, and it includes Man-Ting, which he's the opposite of what you think he is. He's made from a swamp, but he's called Man-Ting.
Well, look, they're both friends. But yeah, like the Guardians, this is nice to see the Guardians again. I mean, we saw them in Thor, but like briefly. So it'd be nice to get a full Guardians project.
It's nice seeing the Guardians, but also not having to sit through the whole movie. Like knowing it's just going to be dumb fun, just probably for like a 45 minutes.
Yeah, and it feels like it's made with that air, like the Christmas specials you'd see as a kid. That's just like, what if the Guardians went to Earth at Christmas time?
It feels like a proper sitcom. Like a half an hour sitcom where like Peter's sad because Gamora's gone. Well, Drax and Mantis, they're going to try and cheer him up. They're going to
save Christmas.
They're going to save Christmas for Peter. So they decide to get him Kevin Bacon
because that's Peter's hero. So like it's a nice idea. It's like, do you know? I don't know if this is a worldwide thing, but like you get the annuals at Christmas. And it's like, DC annual, Marvel annual. This feels like a story that would be in a Marvel annual at Christmas.
Yes, that's what it is. It's like a proper, just like heartwarming, fun story. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't have to be the most amazing story of all time. We just like seeing Drax and Mantis interact. And Kevin Bacon signing up is just ridiculously funny. Like, he's just like, I'll do it. Yeah, fuck it, who cares? And they have all like the whole crew. Like, Rocket is in this. You got Groot, who appears
Cosmo
to be
the space dog.
You've got Cosmo the space dog, and like you have Groot. He's grown up in this. Like he's now, like, early 20s.
He's weirdly wide in the face. I don't care for
small head, wide shoulders.
Small head, wide shoulders. He's built like a rugby player at the minute, and I will say, I've never loved Groot more than the first Groot we saw in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, the old wise Groot.
Yeah, the design, the characterization of that Groot is my favourite. But that doesn't sell Funko Pops. So
oh yeah, absolutely aware. But also, that's probably the best Groot if we're honest with ourselves.
Yeah, and I think that like I have a terrible feeling that this Groot is now going to be like a little shitty party frat boy, and that's going to be his personality.
You think?
Which is like, I think so, honestly. Which I don't know. Maybe I'm not giving James Gunn enough credit for the character that he, made so iconic. But I don't know, maybe there's a mandate from Marvel that Groot has to be silly now.
I'm really against teenage Groot. Like, I really dislike
that character.
I mean, like, the Groot, first Groot is great. Second Groot with Baby Groot, which in the Guardians of the Galaxy 2, that scene where he's getting them out of jail and he keeps bringing them shit. Like, that's ridiculously funny. Exactly, you just understand. Teenage Groot, I'm just like, I could not
just
even.
Kind of nothing.
It's just nothing. Like, it's not funny. It's just, it's like funny for the first second, and then you're like, okay, he's an edgy teenager. So I would just like it if he was just like, he's just in his 20s. He's trying his best. He's not very good, but he's getting there.
Yeah, he's becoming his own person, I guess. I still don't know how much of the old Groot is in that Groot. I don't know how that works, but look, it'll just be nice to see them, because they have that whole family dynamic thing now that they're doing, so it'll be nice to see that with the surface of Christmas over it as well.
Also, is Gamora in this movie?
I don't think so,
but she does exist, because if we're going off Endgame, we have the other Gamora who does exist.
Yeah, we have the Gamora that didn't go through the events of Guardians 1 or 2.
But is she with them? I think she leaves with them at the end of Endgame.
I don't think so. No, she kicks him in the balls and runs off because Nebula goes with them.
She does, 'cause she's not in Thor.
She's not in Thor Love and Thunder. No, she's not in the crew.
Okay.
So she's off doing her own thing, presumably.
Right, okay. And I'm assuming she might probably come back at the end of this.
Maybe, but I don't know if they would make that big of a roster change in the Christmas special.
Okay,
you know?
yeah, I could see that. Also, I think Zoe Saldana's probably shooting Avatar when this was being shot, so might not have been around.
No, yeah, I definitely feel, and like Chris Pratt was definitely doing Mario and Garfield, because I don't think he's going to be in this very much at all. I think it's the Drax and Mantis show.
I think they're like Drax and Mantis are they're going to be in the first 4 minutes, then Drax and Mantis go on a journey, go on a little adventure, and then they show back up at the end, and they're all just sitting around the tree.
I think so, yeah. And Kevin Bacon is terrified.
And Kevin Bacon doesn't know what's going on. I think that dynamic between Mantis and Drax is very funny. I don't know if you can hold it for 45 minutes, but we're going to see.
No, but those two characters have a surprising amount of like depth. Like that scene in Guardians 2 where they're just talking to each other outside.
Yeah.
And Drax is talking about his family and he's smiling, and then Mantis like senses his pain and she's like, holy shit. That kind of stuff, I feel those two play off each other quite well.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Okay, so we're going to move on from the Guardian. Also, it has that bit where they're bouncing along the grass, all the gardens, and Kevin Bacon's just running away.
Just
ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Well, also, I have another rumour about the MCU about a new TV series that may be in development for Disney Plus, Shaun.
All right. And is it in the MCU? Or is it just...
is in the MCU. And it does involve WandaVision, which is what we were talking about. An MCU rumour suggests White Vision TV series is in development for Disney Plus, Shaun. That is White Vision.
White Vision. So it could follow. There's a run of comics called Vision Quest, where it's where the White Vision thing comes from. Like Vision loses himself, has to find himself back. There's a character called Wonder Man, who some of Vision's personality comes from, and they're like, oh, Wonder Man, we need to get your personality, and Wonder Man's like, no, and they both love Wanda because it's the same personality. It's a whole thing. But suffice to say, I think it will pull from that, but mostly be about Vision rediscovering what it is to, doing all the how to be human kind of thing.
Because coming out of WandaVision, we have Monica Rambeau. She's going to be in the Marvels. We've got Agatha Harkness. She's getting her own series for some reason.
Couldn't give a shit. I love Catherine Hahn, could not care.
But Paul Bettany's White Vision, he's kind of just like, he's like the hanging thread that nobody really knows what's going on with. So Hollywood insider Jeff Snyder has revealed that the latest rumours is that he will be getting his own MCU Disney Plus show. I mean, I feel like this kind of goes under the Agatha Harkness banner of like, yeah, cool, fair enough.
But what if it's, for want of a better term, what if it's good? You know that bit where the two visions are talking to each other in WandaVision? Like, instead of having a punch-up and laser fight, they have a conversation.
Ooh, okay.
What if it's that vibe for... 6 episodes or whatever?
I mean, yeah, but they could also do a thing of the West Coast Avengers. Like,
that's true. He is often on that team.
They could include something to do with that. I mean, I don't know if there's enough in Vision to carry a series. I think there's enough to maybe carry a short special, but I don't know if you're getting 6 or 8 episodes out of it.
Yeah, that's true. It's wild. Okay, first of all, it's wild that he didn't show up in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Multiverse.
Well, the very same.
The very same.
But I think Paul Bettany could... I would like to watch Paul Bettany just do his own thing for a bit with the character of Vision. But also, we saw so much of that Vision growth already, like through Age of Ultron and then on to Civil War and things like that. And he was learning what it was like to be his own person and to be, for want of a better word, human. And we saw that growth over several films. And then it's gone. And now do we just watch it again? And
because he also now has his memories back. Like, his memory has been restored. He just doesn't have the power of an Infinity Stone.
Yeah, but like objectively, he doesn't need it because he did quite a lot of damage.
He's okay. He's pretty okay.
He can still fly and phase himself through things as White Vision. Like, he's basically the same.
The backup to that, though, is that Wanda's now gone. So, like, well, is she? She's under a bunch of rubble. I don't think they'll bring Wanda into the series.
No. Maybe there'll be references to her. Maybe he goes looking for her, learns what she did, all this kind of thing. Because I think the conceit is that the Vision that was in Westview and was a simulation, essentially, could only transfer the memories but not the emotions attached to them.
Right.
I think that's it. And so White Vision has all the memories going on, but he doesn't remember how they made him feel.
That's
he just
actually
knows
kind of fucked.
It's twisted, like, and he just knows these events happened. So, there's also
he has. Oh, go on.
I was going to say there's a comic book run where Vision has a really weird, fucked up Vision family. So I think he might like make a little family for himself to try.
It's like a repeat of WandaVision.
Kind of, but he's going to do real fucked up with like mannequins, I bet. I think that'll be fun.
Lord. Oh, Lord. Pop Andy actually has come out and said, like, I don't have a contract, like, in MCU, so, like, they probably could... It would have had to come to them, coming to him and offering him, like, we got a series idea. So it wasn't just that they have him locked in for another thing and they're like, oh, fuck it, we'll just write it. Because, I mean, we have to pay him anyway. So I'd be interested if they came to him and they were like, we have a series and we think there's enough meat on the bone that we can get another Vision series. I'd be I don't know, man. I'm just like, just do a better other series. Like, there has to be somebody else that you could do.
Yeah, like do Ghost Rider. Just confirm Moon Knight season 2. Why not? But make it better.
They haven't, but they have. Oscar Isaac has come out and was like, we are probably get the season 2.
Yeah, it's like the system that is Stephen, Mark, etc. will return. It's like, cool, that's fun.
That's cool. I'm mild about the thing.
But also, maybe instead of doing the Vision and Agatha series, pay your VFX artists more.
Oh,
hot take.
Interesting.
Maybe pay people for their work.
Pay them less. Make them work more.
No, you've gone wrong, Connor. You've gone wrong again.
What have I done? I'm good at maths. So, Shaun, we're moving on to our next piece of news. And this is what I think you're going to be excited about. And I've thrown this in amongst all the good news. In amongst all the comic book news. That there is a sequel that has been announced. There's been a sequel that's been announced that I think you're going to be excited about.
He's lying. I know he's lying.
It's a sequel to everyone's favourite 1996 disaster movie, Twister. Yes,
Jesus,
there's another one in the works.
This is already the worst thing I've ever heard. All right, let's do it. Come on, hit me with the information.
Legacy sequel. Universal are actively seeking out a director to direct a 1996 disaster movie Legacy sequel starring Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt as a pair of storm chasers, Shaun. If you remember correctly, that cow was in the Twister. That was the thing.
Was doing a Twister. It was like The Wizard of Oz with that cow in that Twister. It's just going to be another disaster movie. Is it a remake of Twister? Is it a sequel? Is it a prequel when the weather was fine? What do we do here?
So, I mean, at the minute, what we know is that they're on the lookout for identifying a director. So they don't have a director yet, Universal don't. But Deadline are reporting they're looking at Top Gun Maverick director Joseph Kosinski, who, I mean, Top Gun Maverick got a lot of praise. Got a lot of praise.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
They're also looking at the Bumblebee director, Travis Knight. They're also looking at the Prey director, Dan Trachtenberg, to direct.
I mean, Prey is class. Have you seen Prey?
Prey is also amazing. So, I mean, look, what I will say is, if you were on a wish list, you would aim for the good movie directors as well. And then one by one, they will say no. And then you would have to go with Roland Emmerich.
You'll work your way down to Roland. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But what if, left field, they announced Jordan Peele is directing the Twister reboot?
But he's going to be busy with Blade.
Yeah, he is definitely going to be busy with Blade. That's confirmed. Yeah. Just manifest that into the world.
I'm just hoping it happens.
But I don't see why we need another Twister movie.
What are you talking about? Disaster movies are right. They're hot. They're hot right now, Shaun.
But in the look. So films are meant to be escapism, right?
Yeah.
So why would I watch a load of films about severe and escalating weather events?
It's
in
so
a
what
world
it does in real life.
Imagine that happening. Back in '96.
What about an even bigger cow? Like, I'm talking like a real big one. Like, it's full of milk.
But that's the only reason anyone will go and see this fucking thing is like, oh, what reference did they do to the cow? What's happening there?
How do you reference it without referencing it? You have to, like, the milkman's truck, he gets taken up.
Yeah, or like, it's either got to be a really subtle reference of like, oh, it's a child holding a cow toy, or it's like it's 400 cow, like it goes through a dairy farm, and it's a cownado at that point.
Also, my favourite bit is how they introduce it. Is that the writer of that will be, the script has been written by the resident screenwriter Mark L. Smith, and considering how that movie dealt with humans battling against the force of nature, he appears to be a natural fit for the project, Shaun.
Bear does not equal tornado, though.
What about a bear in a Twister?
Bearnado. Fairly sure that's
definitely been done. That has to be Sharknado versus Bearnado.
Well, unless this is one of those weird projects, it just gets like the best writer, director, and best cast for no reason.
If they get Dan Trachtenberg, Prey director, or even the Top Gun director with the Revenant screenwriter, this movie's like completely overstacked for something that doesn't need it.
Yeah, and like it doesn't need to be made. It also doesn't need to be attached. If you wanted to make a movie about a tornado, you don't have to attach it to the 1996 film Twister. Like, you're just doing that in the hope that it will get you, like, I don't know, 5% more return on investment.
Do people like Twister? Well, not like they liked it. They got like,
it's a grand movie. It was a big movie a few times, and it's like, yeah, whatever.
But I mean, I always consider that, like, that gets thrown away Independence Day, and we all seen how good the sequel to Independence Day was a few years ago.
Me and my dad turned it off after 20 minutes.
So, it was a resurgence. It's coming back, Shaun.
It's yet to return.
Still yet to return. Still haven't clicked play again. But I'm like, disaster movies are so 1995 to 1998 that I don't know if people care anymore. I just said the world is also fucked now. Like, it's literally on fire somewhere right now as I'm speaking.
Yeah. That there's literally tornadoes fucking things up everywhere.
It's very hard to be like, oh fuck, I'm watching this to escape. This is weird.
This is why I'll watch the aliens attack Iron Man for a bit. Like, because I'm like, that's not happening right now. So let's see what it's like.
You look out your window, you're like, nope. Only the volcanoes are erupting. Yeah. No aliens. Check one for me.
What's that volcano movie? Not Volcano, but the one...
Armageddon.
No,
not Armageddon. It's called Volcano. No,
is it called Volcano? What's the one where they redirect it using a fire truck? They redirect the lava.
Is that not Volcano?
Is it? I'm going to look it up. I'm going to search Volcano. Was Tommy Lee Jones in one of them?
I think that's the one you're thinking of, and also the egg falls on the floor at the start of the movie. The lady's making eggs and it falls on the floor.
Yeah, Volcano 1997, excuse me.
95 to 98, all disaster movies, and then we just chilled.
Then there was another Volcano movie at one point. Was it Dante's Peak? That was the one.
That was the one, yeah.
And then you also got Pompeii, starring Kit Harington from 2014.
I went to the cinema to watch Pompeii. I remember.
Did you
that.
actually?
I paid a ticket. I was probably one of the only 5 or 6 people that paid tickets to see Pompeii. And I'll
were
tell
you
you,
impressed?
I was very impressed because I was big on Game of Thrones, and I was like, Kit's in it. He would never lie to me.
I'll support Kit.
And I'm going to support Kit. And Kiefer Sutherland was there, and his face couldn't really move. He had a bit of work done beforehand.
He had some work done, but haven't we all?
Haven't we all? But he was not very surprised, was what I would say. The volcano erupted, and he couldn't show surprise.
Do you know Pompeii? It's based on a book. I read the book in school for my leaving cert.
Oh, good.
And the book is all about, it's like this dude who makes aqueducts, and he's just going around telling everyone, like, no, the water's fucked, it's full of sulphur, something bad's going to happen. And they're all like, but this is like Rome, like, it's like, we're going to go eat and have sex.
They're like, shut up, nerd, get out of here.
And then the volcano explodes, and everyone's just like, yeah, he's right. And then it's Pompeii, so they're all dead.
Kiefer Sutherland's like, oh no, I've only got 24 hours to save this. Shaun, we're moving on. I thought you'd be excited about Twister. I thought you'd be more excited.
You thought wrong, didn't you?
Yeah. Are we taking Roland coming in?
I think, look, Roland will take it. Like, Roland will do
take
that
anything
work.
at this point.
I mean, he is working on the Moonfall sequel, Toonfall.
Toonfall? Bugs Bunny falls third. Oh no. We're finishing off Movie Mondays this week, Shaun, with the pretty big news that I really wanted to talk about, because I'm pretty positive that it has this is possibly one of the biggest news stories we've covered in quite a while. This would be the equivalent of if Kevin Feige was replaced by somebody else, because every movie right now is a superhero movie, or they want to be a superhero franchise movie. And so everyone knows you got Marvel, they got Kevin Feige leading the line. Normally he has everything under control. On the opposite side, if we're looking in sports team analogies, the DC team has been a bit roughshod.
Yes.
They change managers every few months. And then they're like, new direction. I don't like that direction. Let's go back to the old direction. Don't like that one. Let's go an even newer direction. You can't keep up. But what we finally have is some pretty big news. That is, James Gunn has been brought in to run DC Studios for Warner Brothers.
I mean, huge, right? Like,
yeah.
Great for James Gunn, but that's someone as well who's proved himself. Not in just like he's a great Marvel person and so let's steal him, but he also made The Suicide Squad, which might be the best DC comic book movie.
Yeah, it's definitely top 3. But I mean, it's very surprising news, is what I will say. This came out of like left field. There was no announcement whatsoever. Warner Brothers, if anyone has to know, they have been searching for a new leader for quite a while. Jeff Johns was brought in for a little bit, then he was kind of rumoured to be brought out. Then they were slagging The Rock. When Black Adam was coming out, they were like, you're going to be the leader, and he was like, I might be. He was doing like his weird charisma. And so the previous boss, Walter Hamada, left. As DC, he was not very happy with how Warner Brothers were running the area, because they've had a few, I don't know if you've been keeping up with the news, Shaun, but they've been in the news recently for being a bit what's the best way to describe it? It's chaotic.
Yes, messy, unorganised, undisciplined, I would say.
They get rid of movies. They got rid of Batgirl, even though it was all filmed and was being edited. Then they cancelled it.
But they got to write off all that tax. So
Blue Beetle is like, every week, man. Every day, Blue Beetle must go to their emails and it's like, today's the day.
It's definitely happening, guys. Like, it's a terrible morale to work with. Black Adam, by all accounts, is fine.
They got rid of hundreds of shows of all of their streaming services to save a whole bunch of money, and they laid off a whole bunch of people, which is not very good whatsoever. But they're aiming to find the equivalent to Marvel's Kevin Feige, and so they have reached out and they have now brought in James Gunn to lead that area with his producing partner Peter Safran.
I mean, it's a pretty good it's a pretty good gamble, isn't it? To be like, oh, let's get the guy who makes all the really good comic book movies, put him in charge.
It's so interesting because like James Gunn, I think for a long time, like he has said he loves all comic book movies, and it's so weird that when we started this show, Marvel had fired him. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Like he was out, like he was done.
He was finished, and he was never coming back ever.
He was ever coming back, and so then DC were like looking to even get him to do one movie, and now he runs the DC. And Sean, I have news. It's no longer the DCEU. The DCU is what it's called.
The DCU. Which
makes way more sense. They should have done that to start.
They should have really locked that in earlier, shouldn't they?
So, Gunn and Safari, they had been spotted talking with Warner film bosses, Michael DeLuca and Pamela Abdi. And it was put down originally that Gunn was just pitching new DC movies. But instead, apparently the studio was doing the pitching, as he was going to be the new CEO of the DC studios.
What a glow up for James Gunn for making, like, he made this weird low budget horror Slither back in the day.
Yeah.
Wrote on the Scooby-Doo movies, made Guardians, and is now the head of the DCU.
It's so fucking crazy. Like, it's absolutely mad. If they were going to do this, I 100% think they probably went to Matt Reeves first. Do you think they asked Matt Reeves first?
I think so, but I think it might have just been a, hey, it's here if you want it, because he gets first refusal, I think, on Warner Brothers properties.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that, like, I'd say he probably just said, I don't have the time, I don't want to get that involved, I want to, I
would also muddy the waters a bit further as well in terms of like which universe is which. Yeah,
and so whereas the James Gunn, I think this could be a really good idea or a really bad idea. Nobody knows at the minute because it's not something that's ever really been done before.
No, but I also think like it's all well and good hiring James Gunn, but if the heads of Warner Brothers keep doing the same shit that they've been doing and trying to take control of every production and changing it to what they think would work instead of trusting creatives, then it's just going to be the same problem with a different fucking person at the head of it.
I do, but I think James Gunn has the name power, which is something that they haven't had before. Because anyone in that job is just like somebody. Nobody really knows. Whereas James Gunn has a bit of leeway that he's like, I'm good at my job. And the great thing about the Suicide Squad, even though it really bombed kind of in the box office, was that movie was written start to finish. He didn't have anything in regards to editing. So they didn't tell him what to do. He was like, I'm only doing this if you give me freedom to do it my way. And that's the only reason I'm doing this.
That's the only reason it turned out as good as it did.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'd be very interested to see how this works out. Like, is he going to be good? Is he stopped doing movies then? He's more so going to be like
in the production side. Maybe. I mean, there's nothing to say he can't do both, is the thing. And it might give him more freedom to do, other movies that he might want to make that might not fit into a comic book. But he can still have his toe in the comic book world. And I will say, like, with the whole DC Marvel rivalry thing, Kevin Feige did come out and he was like, no, I will be first in line to see the next James Gunn DC project. Like, that sounds great.
And especially because he was involved with the Peacemaker show.
Yes.
That was obviously a big success as well. Like, they want to bring him in because he seems to know what the fuck he's doing. But now he knows what he's doing when you give him a movie. Does he know what he's doing when you give him a studio? And that's not an insult to James Gunn. That's just
no. But
you just because Messi's a really good player, I'm not going to make him manager. You're now manager of the team.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, skills don't always translate like that.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for someone to have an overview of a universe and like where different characters are and where they mix and everything like that, then he's pretty good at it. He's pretty good at bringing together a large ensemble of characters and making them all play well together.
What I will say is they have come out and stated that he won't be sitting in an office all day. As part of his 4-year initial DC exclusivity deal, he'll still be making movies and TV shows, but he'll also be handling executive decisions around other films and filmmakers at the same time, which I think looks good on paper, but I don't think anyone can do those two jobs at the same time.
No, but maybe it's the case of like instead of something going to the Warner Brothers board, it would be given to James Gunn instead to be like, this is the route we take, you know?
Right, but see, I think if he's doing a series, it's very hard to then be like, okay, well, let's cast this new Zatanna movie that we're doing on the side. Like, I think you can all be all or nothing, and I think his movies might suffer just because he's being pulled in several different directions. Like, Kevin Feige doesn't do films. He brings other people in to do films. So, would be a cool idea if James Gunn brought in Taika Waititi, though.
Oh, man, that would be great. That could never backfire at all, could it? I think I'm so burned on Taika, man. I don't know. It wouldn't be a selling point to me anymore.
But you know what's mad is, if you gave him a DC movie, I'd be like, fuck it, let's see what goes on. Let's see what happens.
Okay, Monkey's Paw, you've made a wish. Taika Waititi is directing the Nightwing movie.
I think he could do it.
Really?
I think he could do it.
Wild. Absolutely wild.
I think. Where do you see DC going then with James Gunn? Like, is this
the way
to
the top?
Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? Is he going to be fired? Is he going to be kept around?
I think it's going to work. I think it's going to. DC seem to be making plays and making moves to make better things. Like. They have a Superman. That's great.
They have Black Adam.
They have Black Adam. They have Shazam. They have Wonder Woman and Aquaman, maybe. They don't have a Batman. Cyborg won't talk to them anymore. Rightly so. So. There was a Batgirl. There isn't anymore. Michael Keaton might be there, but really he's not.
The Flash. Let's not talk about the Flash.
Let's not talk about the Flash. Peacemaker's still kicking around. The Suicide Squad are all pretty good and entertaining. Amanda Waller is still doing her thing. Keep Viola Davis for all she's worth. And am I missing anything? Any other DC properties? Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. The Birds of Prey are probably somewhere.
They got Margot. They got Margot locked in for another one. That's
it. So you have all those connections there, and Weasel is still running about somewhere on that island. So
Weasel's locked in for a new series.
Oh, the Weasel series, of course. I think it's messy, but just pull it together as best he can, and then make good movies.
Let's see what happens. I think it could be a good idea, but also if it doesn't work, he could just go back and keep doing good movies, because that's what he does.
This is the thing. He's quite a good man at making movies.
So, Shaun, I think that's it for this week's Movie Mondays.
What a busy week. And you still found time, Connor, to throw in something to annoy me. So thank you very much for that.
Just for my own shits and giggles.
Would you like me to take us out?
Yes, please.
Thank you everyone for listening to this episode of Movie Mondays. We will be back on Wednesday with Weird News Wednesday, Friday with Hero or Zero, and next Monday with another episode of Movie Mondays. Big shout outs to everyone over on the Patreon who continues to support the show and helps keep it going every single month. Shout outs, of course, go to Róisín, Chunky Lobes, Palmer, Joe Burney, Ryan Technically Fine Evanson, Spooky Waffles, Bones Rattling, Ghosts Wailing, Wolves Howling, David Clarke, Shaun Chuck in the Wash and It'll Be Grand Jamieson, Dominic, Anna Irish Walrus Forever Hjelmroos, Lil Dicky Funny Observation McGrew, Danny McLaughlin, No One's Ever Really Gone, Luke Hoth, Lordsmish, Sam, Michelle Browne, Michaela Doughty, Buster, Ed Ball, Sean, Conor and Lorraine, and Russ Gravity Brings Me Down Parfitt. Thank you all so much for the support. We hope you enjoy the Werewolf by Night review that we put up on the Patreon. There's also a whole bunch of other stuff up there if you want to check it out, and that does, being a patron, automatically gets you an invite to the Christmas chat that we'll be having later on in the year. So link to that in the description, or patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast if you want to check it out. There's also a merch store, heroesforhire.ie/shop. Twitter's @HeroesForHirePod. The 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Detective Divilment's discussion group. Instagram is Heroes for Hire Podcast. And the best way to ever help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. So I've been Conor Lorraine.
I've been Sean Meehan.
I shall see you all next week.
Bye.